Alright, hello everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Today we're trying out something really super spicy today. We got Death's Shadow Grixis. So let's go ahead and take a look at our hand here. We have Death's Shadow. We have Interaction. The issue is we don't have anything like Thoughtseize or Inquisition, which really helps the deck get going. So this is one of the more tamer starts that you'll see from the deck. I think it's still a keep. It's got a lot of lands to take advantage of maybe some of our draws. 2 fetches will at least bring us down to 14 life. The lack of, hand disruption is pretty real here, but I think we'll keep. If it's a creature deck, I think we'll have a decent matchup. And it is not a creature deck. All right. So this combo is actually pretty important to have against a deck like this where there's very little interaction. So in general, if you plan on shocking, Scalding Tarn is the land you want to play because this only gets basic island, and we already have island in our hand, while this gets basic island and swamp, plus any of your other fetches. So our plan is probably to shock, fetch, bolt face, and then probably collective brutality, choosing the discard mode, just to try to slow our opponent down a little because we won't go down enough life. Farseek. Sure. Alright, red-green Valakut. This could be an interesting matchup because they have very little ways of actually dealing with Death Shadow. Alright. We're going to get a Blood Crypt here. We'll go ahead and Lightning Bolt our opponent. Let's try to get him dead quicker. Serum Vision is an interesting draw. I think we still want to Collective Brutality, try to slow our opponent down. They may be very reliant on their instants and sorceries to get the job done here, so we'll see what they're working with, what we need to play around with. So drawing another fetch would actually be really important for us. Jeez, that is a lot of Summoner Pact. So they're essentially at 5 mana with Mountain Spirit Guide. So they're very close to pulling off a Primeval Titan and just smashing us for a bunch of damage. So we're on a tough clock here, and let's see if our opponent drew anything relevant. Like at this point, lands is very relevant for our opponent. So, oh, are they going for it right now? Oh, Baloth. Interesting. Sure. They might think we're some sort of. It's very interesting. Why go for the Baloth? All right. So step 1, Serum Visions. Inquisition, Thoughtseize. So Thoughtseize is good. Thoughtseize is very good. It'll help us get our life total down. Inquisition is not bad, but we still can't get enough for Death's Shadow, but we can get enough for our Tasigur. Alright, so they got the prime time. They're going to have to pay 4 next turn. Next turn. The question is, do we take the Summoner's Pact in the hope of taking prime time with Thoughtseize next turn? And I think so. We want to cut them off of that kind of stuff. Alright, so let's exile here. Our graveyard's not too important. I'm leaving in the Lightning Bolt in case we end up getting to Tasigur range where we're recurring things. My guess is we won't be, though. Alright, now they have to pay for the Pact. We know we're drawing Thoughtseize next turn. And they can't attack. Alright, step 1. Thoughtseize. Take Primeval Titan. Step 2. We attack. Bring our opponent down. Step 3, we play Death's Shadow. Now it's not very threatening as a 1/1 at the moment. But we have the combo in hand, and we're ready to. Alright, so it looks like they drew a mountain. Caskets occur. Tri-Belter, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's, they could get up to 5 mountains pretty soon. They probably should. Wow, they're attacking us. That is gutsy. Maybe they're not realizing that that will make Death's Shadow bigger. All right, so fetch. Let's think about what that does for us here. So that makes Death's Shadow an 8/8, and that could give it. That will make it a 8/8 double strike with trample. They have 3 toughness here. So if they double block, would they double block? If they single block, so 1 block here, 1 block here, we're still 8/8. That's 16. That's 14 exactly damage going through. Yeah. All right, so I think we have the win here, as long as we just attack. I think that Baloth attack was a huge mistake from our opponent. Let's attack. Go to blocks. How are they blocking? All right. As long as we have a shock here, that's fine. They don't have 5 other mountains, so we're okay here. Go ahead and get a Steam Vents, shock it. We're up to 8/8 now. And we Battle Rage, and that should be exactly 14. Alright. Let's go to sideboard. So what's good in this matchup? Counter Squall is going to be great. Fulminator Mage, also going to be great. And Terminates are going to be much better than Fatal Push. So let's go ahead and cut those. Spell Snare is still live in this matchup, as is Spell Pierce. So I'm not ready to cut them. Also, Collective Brutality is not horrible. So don't want to cut that either. What kind of game are we trying to play game 2 is the question. Lightning Bolt is a fair cut. I mean, how aggressive are we getting? The thing about Lightning Bolt is you can also Lightning Bolt yourself, which could power up Death's Shadow. So it's a versatile card. The thing is, it's pretty dead otherwise. Kolaghan's command could be just a little too slow. Yeah, I'll cut K command. I don't think we need it. The combo could be good against a relatively non-interactive deck like this. Do we need to spell? Summoner's Pact is an instant, so that could be a nice counterspell. And let's go ahead and cut all of our lightning bolts. And I think this is a relatively good setup. I mean, Terminate's not a great answer, but it's something. So I think that's the setup we're going to go for. And hopefully we can get some early hand disruption in some of our hands here. Unfortunately, this hand has no lands. We cannot keep it. Go ahead and mulligan. This is a pretty rough hand. I think we still have to keep, though. We have 2 Serum Visions that'll hopefully help us dig for the cards we need to help shut our opponent down. Alright, no Search for Tomorrow is good. Gives us time to work with here. We'll shock. Serum Visions. We want to hit more lands. So as much as I love Spell Snare in this matchup, we need lands. So next turn we can go Inquisition plus Serum Visions, or Inquisition keep up this spell. My guess is we don't need to keep up this spell at the moment, but we can see once we see our opponent's hand. We'll see what they're working with. Yep. Alright. We're going to need some more hand disruption here, for sure. Water Grave. Shock it. Let's run out Inquisition. What is our opponent working with? Engineered Explosives. So that's something that really messes with our Death Shadows. We have an answer to Summoner's Pact, so we probably shouldn't take that. We have Dispel. And my guess is they're not going to... They might Summoner's Pact next turn to get another mana creature. Yeah, we'll take the Explosives. I think that's definitely the most correct play here. And while playing Serum Visions would... yeah, they're likely making the play that I think they are. Basic Force is pretty good for us, actually. Do they want to... Alright, they're not going for the Summoner's Pact. So maybe we should have Serum Vision there. Alright, so here we can Thoughtseize. Take away Primeval Titan. Oh, Baloth. I'm not too worried about Baloth. But we take Prime Time. And we have an answer for Summoner's Pact in hand. Looks like our opponent drew another land. We're going to say no thank you to Summoner's Pact. We're probably going to see an Obstinate Baloth now. And we're probably going to run out of Tasigur. Because unless we draw Fetch, that might be an argument to run out. Alright. I'm actually going to go Serum Visions here because I want to fix our next few draws. As much as I like Fulminators, we need to hit lands in the form of fetches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we get Tasigur out. And our opponent is just working with Simian Spirit Guide plus Unknown. They're a bit off from getting 4 mountains. So I don't think we have much to be afraid of right now. We have time to work with. Let's go ahead and Thought Scour in our main phase. Not Shock. That is great. So step 1. Attack. And then go ahead and double block. Sure. Say okay. That's fine. Get rid of the Obstinate Baloth. Then we get Blood Crypt, Shock. And yeah, they're only 3/3s right now. But our opponent is working with no cards in hand, and while they have some pretty strong top decks, I think we're in a good position here. 3, 4. Escape Shift? I don't think so. That's 2 green, right? Chalice of the Void on 2. That's really interesting. I mean, I guess we already have our Death Shadows down, but I still think 1 is correct. Unless they're really afraid of the combo. We don't want to mill our Shock. The last remaining Shock. So we'll do that right now. And because our deck relies more on black, we're gonna Thought Scour. Oh man. That might even be better than playing another Death Shadow. That shuts off Valakut and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th mana from our opponent. Man, that's brutal. We'll go ahead and do that right now. There's no reason. They have no cards in hand. There's no reason to do it during their upkeep or something. That should close up the game because now, I mean, they could still draw Prime Time. Don't want to smash my monitor. Yeah, so this deck can be a little frustrating to play against sometimes. I know Death Shadow is... Some people see it as like an unfair card in Modern, so I can definitely understand our opponent's frustration. Alright. Actually, do I want to stay at 6 life is the question. I don't think there's any reason to go to 6 life from this fetch. Let's think about it, because if they draw Primeval Titan... 3, 4, 5. They can get Valakut plus... I don't think they can deal. But there's no reason to go down to 6 life. Because we still have 3 very lethal threats at the moment. But we'll play it out. So they know what we're working with here. And I think they're basically dead. They have... Yep. Alright, so game 1. So... That's what's great about this deck. It's really good against the less interactive decks. Now, when you run to decks with a bunch of Path to Exile, a bunch of Fatal Push, Snap Fatal Push, the line gets a little blurry there. But we still have some grindy elements. So yeah, thanks for watching. Deck performed perfectly, even with some less than nutty draws. Thanks for watching and tune in.